The upcoming total solar eclipse in Aries is happening on April 8th, and it is extremely powerful. I want you to think back to around 2006, because that was the last time that we had a total solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So think back if you're old enough, and you may see a continuation of some of the themes that were sparked back then. Think about the challenges, think about the themes, think about the central points of your life during that time, because that could indicate some of the story that is going to take place over the next 6 months after this total solar eclipse in Aries. This is an extremely powerful one. This is why I named my upcoming pop-up event from April 8th until April 10th, Shadow and Light. This is an eclipse season pop-up. And there I will go over on the opening night party, April 8th, from 7 to 11 p.m., what each of the 12 zodiac signs can expect from not only the total solar eclipse in Aries, but the lunar eclipse in Libra that we have just experienced as well, because the effects of the eclipse are over the next 6 months. So if you want to hear what's in sign for your zodiac sign, definitely stop by the event, and you can RSVP by heading to lilithastrology.com. So now let's actually get into the collective forecast for the total solar eclipse in Aries as a bit of a preview of my talk for the upcoming event, Shadow and Light. So a total solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth and completely blocks the face of the sun. So this is a dark moon. This is a new moon, but quite literally revved up and ready to go. And what differentiates a solar eclipse from a new moon is a solar eclipse occurs within 10 degrees of the north and south nodes of the moon. So the moon and sun will be in Aries and right next to the north node in Aries that we have been experiencing since July of 2023. So this total solar eclipse is coming to activate the themes that you experienced since last summer. And these are themes around the self, individuality, what motivates you, what drives you. You're not shying away from conflict during this total solar eclipse, and you're really going to fight for what you want, what you believe in, and what you desire. And this is on a global level. And you can see in world events how there was such an uptick in global conflict since July of 2023. Quite literally, the nodes of the moon have been bringing this forth. So we've got the moon and the sun together in Aries with Chiron, the wounded healer. So this is adding a dash of wounded warrior type of vibe. So really taking ownership of how you have dimmed your light or kept yourself small and allowed others to dictate who you are. And a lot of you are going to be breaking out of the mold that your family may have set for you, the mold that society may have set for you, that other people may have set for you. And you're really coming into yourself. And unfortunately, this can bring a lot of violence as well, too. Aries represents war. Aries is quite literally the mythical god of war. And he teaches us the aggression and the conflict side of the divine masculine. So not only are we all going to be going through some conflict within ourselves, men and the divine masculine on a global scale are going to start to really hold up the mirror and take a look at themselves and the patriarchal society that we have all been experiencing and how that has harmed them. So this is why we're seeing like the rise of incel, rise of men talking about how they have been harmed by the systems. And this transit is uncomfortably going to wake a lot of men up who have not faced the ways that the patriarchy has programmed them. So we've got Chiron, the wounded healer. This is turning the total eclipse into a wounded warrior and taking responsibility for what you want and going after it. And we are also in Mercury retrograde, which is close behind, as well in the sign of Aries. So get ready for verbal conflict. Conflict breeds change, right? Like this is like a match striking. This is like a big trigger for conflict, but sometimes we need conflict in our lives in order to be a catalyst for change, even if it may seem jarring or challenging at first. Sometimes we need that friction. Sometimes we need that conflict to really bring change into our lives. So this is forming a huge stellium in Aries on top of having the total solar eclipse. And a stellium is 3 or more planets. Some astrologers say 4 in one sign. So it really concentrates the energy. So quite literally, this is the most important lunar event for Aries since 2006. So this is a shout out to you in particular, Aries. This is you're the star of the show. You're the main character in this total solar eclipse. We've got Venus close by as well, adding to it the dynamics between me versus we. What do you want? What do I want? Am I going to champion for what I want? And we've got on the opposite end, we've got the South Node in Libra adding to that polarity. And Libra is all about relationships. Libra is about contracts. And a lot of you are really going to be taking a look at serious contracts, relationships, and dynamics in your life and rewriting those stories, rewriting what it looks like. Maybe some past behaviors in relationships that you're perpetuating in the present are going to come up for you over this next 6 months. And the universe is going to trigger you to change it. So another aspect I do want to mention, it is playing a big part in the day. We've got Mars, Saturn, and Neptune forming a stellium in Pisces. And that is forming a sextile with Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. Sextile is an easy, nice connection. And this is all about innovation, change, sudden change in money, sudden change in structure, needing to also on a collective level over the next 6 months, the governments really have to take a look at how we have been really not taking care of the earth and how we can implement sustainability because of the just worsening climate change that the masses have not been paying attention to. There also may be some huge technological advances with this type of configuration. But all of us are going to be changing our own beliefs about our value, about ourselves, about what we offer creatively to the collective. And a lot of you are going to be looking for more meaning when it comes to how you earn your money. And we can also see some changes in our collective financial system with an aspect like this. So I'm going to dive even deeper at the event. This is just top level. This is not everything at all. So I really encourage all of you to RSVP if you are going to be in the New York City area from April 8th to April 10th. And there is going to be a fabulous event on the first night where I'm going to give a huge live astrology talk and talk about this eclipse season and how it's going to affect each of the 12 signs over the next 6 months. And I also am going to have an amazing pop-up shop for the 2 days after that, where you can book readings, shop Black Moon Lilith Rising and the Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle, learn about astrology, meet me, get your book signed, and interact. I hope to see you all there. RSVP at lilithastrology.com.